Now for the track guide. Before starting, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, I have a complete sim racing course in the video description, which I think will take you to the next level. Now going into the track guide itself, for turn 1, the reference for braking will be this concrete here on the left side. Once you pass it, you want to brake in a straight line. Super important to brake on the white line, because as you can see, there's a little bit of concrete in between the white line and the grass, so you really have to use everything in turn 1. Now, braking in a straight line, you will turn late for this corner. You need a late apex, so don't brake and turn at the same time. Make sure you're spending your time on a straight line braking, then you will turn more and more, and when you get closer to the curb, you will downshift to second gear. So don't force a very quick downshift around here. You want to keep your minimum speed up, and it's super important to use this curb. You want to put your tire and cut the curb on the right side, very close to the grass, because this curb will pull your car towards the right side and will give you a slight bit of rotation. Pushing the throttle aggressively, but you still have to modulate in the first 20%, but then try to go more and more aggressively. You want to be all the way here on the curb, even brushing the grass on the left side, and then quickly reposition, cut this curb on the entry, and you want to be braking on this lighter color near the grass. You see this patch around here, the patch where the grass it's almost missing. You want to brake on that, so you want to use everything. Look, right now when we're approaching this part, we're braking, and when braking, look how much we're cutting. This is key, because ultimately what you want is to shorten the distance between this corner and the next, and the shortest path possible is in a straight line, as you can see in front of you. So look, we're almost going in a straight line, downshifting to second gear, and in this corner all the grip is on the inside. So you want to stay in this grippy part of the track. You don't want to go more upwards around here, because the grip is being lost on that part. So stay towards the inside, follow the white line, and super important, don't put your tire on the red and white curb. You just want to stay and put your tire on the white line. Stay very tight, but don't use the curb too much. If you're going to use it too much on entry, you will just go wide. On the exit, yes, you can use it, but on the entry, just follow the white line, push the throttle, and you can even go a slightly bit more towards the right side, but make sure you're not going all the way to the gravel, because you won't have enough time to reposition. So if you end up with your right tires on the white line, that's fine, but don't go on the curb and on the gravel, because look, the next corner comes very quickly. So even though you can push more speed into the corner, it's not really advised to do it. Now for this corner right here, the reference for braking and turning, because it happens mostly at the same time here, is whenever you see like there are 3 yellow blocks here on the left side near your pillar. When you see these 3, then you're going to be braking and turning mostly at the same time. Make sure once again you're using this little space to the left side of the white line, brake and turn, and just barely brush the brakes. This is not where you want to overslow the car. You're using the brakes mostly to rotate the car. So 11% on the braking, then immediately where the car lands after you're hitting the curb, you should be pressing the throttle. Make sure you're not going all the way to the green here. It's a big trap. Yes, there's more space to be used, but you will lose this time and more here in the next corner, because in this corner you just want to shorten the distance. So staying very tight here, modulate your throttle input. You're not going to 100% throttle and then have the car push towards the right side. You want to stay tight, shorten the distance, because this is such a short segment and it's not worth it to push more speed there and have an earlier and more aggressive throttle application, just because you will be covering a longer distance. And this is such a short segment where it doesn't make sense to do it. Now, in terms of the braking for the next corner, once again, if you remember what we said for turn 2 and turn 3, you want to shorten the distance and almost go diagonally into the braking. This is exactly what we're doing. We bring the car all the way to the left side here on the white line, and the moment that this green begins, like right now where the grass begins, we want to cut it and then apply the brakes. So notice that we're pointing the car and we're using all this space around here. This is critical, all the way to the grass. And then when we're braking, now we're going to brake diagonally, so you won't be following the white line. You can say that you're braking in the middle of this green patch, but it's super important to position early enough and just go towards the left side. And then we're going to brake and go diagonally like this. In second gear, make sure the car track house just a little bit wider. You don't want to stay glued to the white line, so that you can push the throttle a bit earlier, just like that. In second gear, notice that we're quite aggressive initially on our throttle input. This is exactly what you should be doing, because this is a decent straight for this small track. And now the last corner, reference for braking will be the beginning of these yellow blocks on the left side. When you don't see the first one, so when you're at the second one, you're gonna be applying the brakes. You have to point the car and then brake, so you will be mostly turning and braking at the same time. Don't want to brake very hard though. You will stay in fourth gear up until you get closer to the green, then you go in third gear. And now the most important thing is your vision, because you don't want to turn blindly and hope for the best. You just want to look at this red and white curb, and you want to look at the end of it, like here, because you want to point the car on this part where I'm showing my mouse pointer. So then using your throttle to just wait a little bit, the trail braking to wait a little bit, so you want to cut it all the way to the end and then fully commit to the throttle. And in short, that's a lap around here. So I hope you have a great week, and once again, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, the link in the video description will help you out. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.